Alright guys, it's Nickstarship and welcome to another video. Today we're going to just talk about a few things. Alright, so if we go ahead and look right here, this was a tweet by Digital Extremes for Black Lives Matter on the 1st, okay? My reaction to this is basically, you know, good for DE, but like they also posted it on the forums. So it was kind of like, well, aren't we trying to not have politics on the forums? I like to browse the forums, and we're going to do a little bit of that today in this video. The Black Lives Matter movement is interesting. It's something that relates to all people, especially if you are in North America, okay? As a United States citizen, as an American, all right, we are taught that intolerance is bad, okay? We have to be able to look past each other's differences, okay? But for DE to have a standpoint on it for Black Lives Matter, I understand that, all right? I'm not advocating anything, but they are a game company, all right? So we don't really know what their initiatives are. But today, on the 4th, or this was yesterday, today's the 5th, actually, my bad. So yesterday, they made a $25,000 donation to the Black Lives Matter in support of their statement. So they did a statement, and then they took action, okay? So they decided that this is what they want to solidify their standpoint on their view, okay? So, like, saying one thing is one thing, right? You could say whatever you want. But to do something like this, to do $25,000 donation is quite a lot, okay? Especially for Black Lives Matter, okay? Remember, DE did support Australia during their hardship, right? And now America is having protests and riots, but the main part is that we're having protests and they're turning into riots, okay? And this is due to the George Floyd incident, okay? I'm not trying to be too political on this channel, but I do have, you know, my own viewpoints on everything as well. I'm a human being, okay? So this is the statement. I'm just trying to give you guys the information so you're aware of it. Okay, so they're in the process of updating their player systems to better protect against hate speech and racism, including zero-tolerance chat policies. So they made a donation, and they're making a change, and they've been doing this change since they got rid of the Guides of the Lotus program last year. Okay, and, you know, there's other Warframe YouTubers. I don't want to call them Warframe YouTubers, but there are other YouTubers who've covered this issue much better than I have. Okay, and I did react to Raytali's video last year. Okay, he has some really good points, and then you have plenty of other Warframe YouTubers as well. I can't list them all by name. There's just so many because a lot of the partners have their own voice and their own opinion on this. I'm not a Warframe partner yet, okay? I can do whatever the heck I want, all right? But Warframe partners can also do whatever the heck they want, which is, that's the thing. So there are plenty of comments, okay? And people are kind of mixed about it. This guy right here, you know, zero tolerance is scary, and it's and he's saying that they fucked up with the Guides of the Lotus, just how I just said, okay? And then there's also people who respect what's going on here. There's plenty of people who have their own opinions as well, and you can browse this. So, and I'm going to have this in the description of the video as well. All right, so this is just a Twitter post, right? And then today I saw that DE Rebecca, closed down a post on the forums, which I'm going to click over to, and we're going to read it together. All right. I'm not going to go through every single response to the post, but then we'll go to what DE Rebecca said, and then we'll look over the code of conduct policy that is currently in place, right? So recently they changed their trading policy. They kind of made it a little bit more easier to access for your first time trading. Like, hey, don't real world trade, you know, like anything you're trading should be traded for things in game, you know, like don't trade a blowjob for, you know, some platinum. Don't do that. All right. Things like that. So let's go ahead and tab over to the forums. All right. So this user, okay, Illogical Logic 420. All right. He joined the forums. He joined Warframe in July 27, 2015. This is considered a veteran player in terms of how long he's been playing. He's currently online as well while I'm making this video. All right. And this is his post. This is the original post. He is OP. Okay. He is the original poster. So he links that Twitter that I just showed you. So we have to look at that. He says he loves DE and thinks they're great. And then he shares his opinion on it as well. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. Okay. So he says, I thought you learned last time how much trouble something like this can cause everybody. Sure, a friendly, non-hateful, non-racist, inclusive community is what is needed. But there are a million of other ways to do this. Zero tolerance always catches innocent people in the crosshairs and is absurd by those who enforce it. As proven the last time you policed the game so heavily. And what happens to the people who got wrongfully banned? Oh, well, sucks for you. Zero tolerance means zero tolerance. And then there's the issue of interpretation, the intent behind somebody's words. But I mean, if someone says something blatantly racist, I think their intent is pretty clear. They're racist. The context. Okay. And then he provides an example. What if some clueless person who doesn't understand the movement says something like, all lives matter, and then you ban him for hate speech? So we punish people for not knowing something that is quite actually difficult for a lot of people to understand. We punish people for lack of intelligence or comprehension. No. A better way is to show them why it's not appropriate and help them understand. I'm not saying only Black Lives Matter. Of course, all lives matter. But look at current events. This is why we say Black Lives Matter too. Okay. I actually like this. I like this sentence. Black Lives Matter too. Okay. But just saying Black Lives Matter, it kind of feels, to me, I will not be able to understand. I'm speaking as Nick, as Nicholas. Okay. I'm a white guy. All right. I'm a white male. All right. I like women. All right. I'm not gay. Okay. I'm not homophobic. I'm not homophobic for sure. Okay. I have an understanding and respect towards people. Okay. Am I a little bit judgmental? Yes. I usually follow the motto, I'm not racist, I'm a comedian. I like to have fun. Okay. I like to surround myself with people that I feel comfortable with. Okay. And they can come from a variety of cultures as long as they have a type of a respect they hold with the way they're communicating to me. You know, if someone who's ignorant is going to come up to me and start speaking in a way that I find disrespectful or unintelligent, I'm going to choose not to associate with them. Okay. So it becomes a way of like who is your people, you know what I mean? Back in middle school, I went to a majority of a school that was mostly people of different races besides white. So we had black people, and you know, you could call them African American, but a lot of them weren't African American. They were Haitian, okay? And the Haitians did not get along with the people who called them African American. In fact, the African Americans used to beat up the Haitians, and the Haitians used to beat up the African Americans. I remember one day, my friend who was black, he told me, look, Nick, like, you shouldn't come to school tomorrow. It's beat up a white kid day. Beat up a white kid day. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school that fucking day. All right, but these are events that kind of make up who I am. Okay, my roommates all through college were black. All right. In fact, my roommate coming to live with me most likely this month, He's a big black guy, okay? And we had a lot of fun together, and we still have a lot of fun together, and I call him up all the time, all right? But that's my background, okay? I think that all lives matter, and that has to do with human rights, right? And black people in the history of America and most of North America have had a really tough time, okay, due to history, due to slavery. And it wasn't just black people. It was not just black people. The Egyptians, right? The Egyptians had slaves. You didn't think the Egyptians had slaves? We don't want to get too in political shit, but you know, the people of the world, there's a history that's there, okay? Whenever you conquered a city, all right, you would most likely take most of the men, either execute them or make them slaves, rape and pillage the women, and that was that, okay? And that's human civilization. But now we're getting to a point where we're more civilized, right? Give it another 100 to 200 years, holy shit, you're not gonna have any of this shit. Everybody's gonna be living in cubicles. Everybody's gonna have an avatar. They're gonna be anime titties everywhere, all right? Anime titties, and everyone's skin's gonna be blue, all right? We're gonna all look like Smurfs. All right, so back to his opinion. I really don't need to say much or provide examples because it looks like, if you look at your game's history, it's perfect teaching lessons why something like zero tolerance will ruin everything. You will burn yourselves and the community will attack you relentlessly like it did before. Hey, yo, I've been playing for a while too, okay? It wasn't that bad, okay? It wasn't that bad. It was that bad. It got to a point where almost every other partner video was flaming DE, not attacking DE, but addressing the drama, oh man, the guides of the Lotus programs. Look, I had interactions with, in terms of Guides of the Lotus server, okay? Based on my interaction with the user server, who was the Guides of the Lotus, he was a respected individual, held himself very well, all right? But then there were some of them who weren't the most mentally stable people, okay? But this is DE. You think they have time to interview every single human being? The guys at Lotus were volunteers that necessarily didn't need training, and they probably only had to like be inside a chat and know somebody. I don't know, okay? But as I've ran my own communities, as somebody who's ran their own communities, it's tough finding people that actually know what the fuck they're doing and that will stay around and won't have their mind be manipulated and be lied to and turn against you, okay? It's hard to find those people. So Warframe has a game, right? Everybody playing Warframe really fucking loves Warframe. What they don't like is the fact that the changes that they want aren't in yet, okay? And they're gonna be talking about them until they get addressed, and DE comes out with an official statement, okay? Which we're gonna get to in a moment. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any of that. You don't want to see that. So he's basically saying he loves DE. You know, don't fuck up like last time. You know, and he's giving the main reason is he doesn't really like the sentence, you know, Black Lives Matter. To be honest, like it triggers him. It triggers me too. Okay, I'm not black though. You know what I mean? And I already acknowledge that Black lives do matter. Everybody's lives matter. But something needs to change in the world. Okay, not to DE. Okay. And everybody's pent up inside, and there's a bubble being burst. All right, so this is this. All right, so then we go to the last page, right? And then we have a response from DE Rebecca. Okay. And this is her response. Okay, because there's 11 pages of discussion, and people are kind of getting a little bit hostile. All right, so she says that people aren't remaining respectful, so she locked the forum. and try to be excellent to each other. And keep in mind, if you're not excellent to each other, this is technically, I think, a against terms of service violation. So, like, all these people could be who are not being excellent to each other and are being very disrespectful could get consequences. So keep in mind that that will reflect on the forums. All right, and then when it comes to the virtual world that they've made for DE, they've made clear their policies. So Rebecca is saying that, you know, they've already done that. They've already made it clear what their policies are, and then she posted them. All right, and here's the code of conduct. All right, for Warframe. So code of conduct: respect for all in Warframe. Code of conduct: while there's no uniform definition of hate speech, Digital Extremes determines hate speech as speech that degrades on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, religion, age, disability, or any other similar ground. Warframe has a zero-tolerance policy towards the promotion of hate. Use of these terms will lead to a permanent account ban. So if you do any of these, okay, use any of these, if you degrade somebody, you risk an account ban. All right, that is how it is. It is that simple. It is right there. And this is already in place, and they're going to be even working on that even further. It doesn't matter who you are. We just need to build a future. I'm listening to We All Live Together in the background if you haven't paid attention to that. But, and here's the thing. Most of it's user reports. All right, here's how to report people. You just say hate speech, right? Boom, boom, boom. How do you prevent it? I mean, you just report it. And that's how it is right now. Whenever I see somebody doing this, right, I always report them. If somebody's like calling me the N-word, they get reported. I do my part. If somebody calls me you know, any of these things, okay? You know, if they call me like, oh, you know, you're because you're white, I can't play with you. Nobody's ever said that to me. But if they did any of these things, I would report them. But it's typing. It's typing. People who do hate speech, who type, are very, very, very toxic. Okay? Because they're typing it. They don't care if they get caught. Even if you ban them, they still typed it. All right? They still typed it. And how many times are they going to do this off the game, right? Are they going to make a new account? The account might get banned, but will DEIP ban them? Probably not. I don't know. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. The whole George Floyd situation has been kind of weird, especially right after coronavirus, and I see everybody hanging out. And that was my first thought, was why is everyone gathered in one place with coronavirus like still going on during a pandemic? Why? Can't we all protest from our homes? The whole like blackout Twitter thing was interesting as well, but I don't care about that. I made a forum post on this too, in response to this. And I think everybody's lives matter. I think that politics should be out of Warframe on the forums. Twitter, I don't care. They can do whatever they want on Twitter. But as you can see, this only has like 200 likes, you know. Only like 232 retweets for this. I'm not sure. Let me check the original. The original has like 3,000. Right? People get it. Okay, they understand. But what if you're young and you play this game, you're 13 years old, or you're not even an adult yet? You're like, what is this? There's a lot of impressionable people out there. They just gotta remember that they're a game company. They're not a political platform. But yeah. Anyway, I'm Nickstarship. Thank you guys for watching the video. I will see you all later. I'm waiting for the I am playing the glass part, but I'm waiting for the deadlock protocol. The night wave is kind of shit so far. It's pretty boring. It's how you would expect night wave to be. But we don't. That's another video for another story. So anyway, I'm Nickstarship. Leave a comment, smash that like button, brother, and let me know what you think as well on this. I really do like reading all your comments. All right, I try to read every single one, and I've done a good habit of that. I get a little alert in the top right corner whenever you guys leave a comment, and I make sure to read it. Okay, and I might even reply back to some of you guys if you're nice. All right, so be nice in the comment section so we keep it, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.